I'm just saying, what kind of fucking world we living in? So many billions we've given them. When's Europe chipping in? When we gonna start splitting and stirring up the dividends and begin telling other nations it's your turn to lend a hand?
What is your message to Zelensky when he comes to the Capitol on Thursday? He wants more money from Congress. He claims that it's, he says it's very important to stopping the war in Ukraine. What message does it send that so many conservatives are opposed to more money for Ukraine?
The first thing I'll tell you is there's no money in the house right now for Ukraine. There's just not. It's not there.
You mean there's no support for money?
No. And to be blunt, we're running a $2 trillion deficit. Any money we give to Ukraine, we're borrowing from our future. That's the facts. Those are the truth. You feel how you want to feel about it. I'm here to tell you what's right and what's real. Look, it's not a good time for him to be here, quite frankly. That's just the reality. And the third piece is what's happened with Ukraine is frankly the fault of leadership of Joe Biden. Let's be very clear of that. So don't put that on the backs of the American people now. If we had a commander-in-chief who knew how to lead as opposed to take naps, then we would be in a much better situation when it comes to Ukraine and global security for that matter.
That was so spot on. Anyway,
he's so based.
He is. I'm hearing that. He might have the VP if Donald Trump wins or something like that. He's one of those being considered. I don't know, but he's no joke. All right, so you get a backdrop of where we are going because this video here is built on top of that because Samson went off. So I want to say it again. There's some cursing in here. Not a fan of the cursing, but that's Samson. Let's go on.
I'm hurting. I can feel my money draining. They take everything I make and you wonder why I'm complaining. I break my neck to make this money, then they just come and take it from me. My wages ain't that great in the first place. I should be paying you nothing, but they keep on coming and they keep on taking. These motherfuckers go ham on me every time I bring them the bacon. And I wonder what it's for. Ukraine, great funding a war. Have we spent enough yet? Should I guess not? Look, here they come for some more. Fuck me, I'm sore. Sucks being poor. You had the same job for the last 6 years, wasn't struggling before. Back when Trump was in office, fuck all the junk that they called him. I never saw any of the shit that people always said he was in the comments. All of it was nonsense, I ain't even trying to ride him either. I'm just saying you gotta admit that shit was fine when he was the leader. It was fine when he was in charge. I never saw bills as high as they are. I never got chills just literally thinking about filling up my car. It shouldn't be that way. I don't care about Russia or Ukraine, but I do care about my own country. Is that insane? I care a lot about all the tons of money that we're paying because it's mine, not yours, and I'm the one that feels the pain. I get taxed on my fucking ass for every dime I make. It'd be fine if they would spend my money wisely, but no way. It'd be great if they would take it and pay for important shit that benefited you and me and not just wage wars with it. And where the fuck are all the liberals? I thought you stood against this shit. I thought the war machine was your enemy. Now you're friends with it? Now you wanna go to war? Now you wanna fight? Now you wanna pick sides in a feud where everyone is white? Now you wanna get involved and go and blow a person up? I'm just saying, I'm surprised this altercation ain't diverse enough. No one deserves this stuff. I just don't believe the tears you weep. Countries where brown people get bombed every day. I don't hear a peep, you fucking hypocrites. Thought the race thing was your shtick. I thought as long as white people were involved, you don't give a shit. Those are your words, not mine. I'm just wondering why. Why do we have endless money for them and none for Hawaii? Why is it?
Yo, he's saying so much. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
and it's all
boy.
truth. It's all truth.
He is so factual, though. Like, he is loaded with facts. So this man is sitting in his garage. Obviously, this is a garage. In front of a couch with a phone, I'm guessing. And he is like tearing things apart, boy. He's airing out his grievances. He's calling it out. And it's true. This is actually how some of us feel. I feel the same way. I don't know if I can express it as well as he does, but I do feel the same way. There's a lot of just corruption and stuff like that I don't necessarily understand why we're spending so much money in Ukraine, knowing we're not winning. So the evidence is out. We ain't winning no war. The Ukrainian people are dying in great numbers. The only thing that they're building over there is just graveyards for dead bodies. So Russia is not giving up. They haven't even used half of their military, so they're doing just fine. They were ready for this. The supposed what do you call it, sanction didn't work because the Russian economy was already they knew how we do with sanctions, so they already primed their economy for that, so they were ready to deal with that as well. Yeah, and we spend billions of dollars on Ukraine. We've sent so much aid, and some of our soldiers now. Yeah, this can turn into a whole World War III if this doesn't stop. It needs to stop. Like, it needs to stop now.
I don't think we've actually sent any soldiers over there per se. I think anybody who's gone over there has gone over there independently.
Independently, I've heard that. Yes, that's right.
So, I mean, officially, we haven't sent any soldiers over, but they are in like the outskirts in like Pakistan or not Pakistan, Poland and other outlying regions in the area.
Christoph said we've trained them though.
Yeah, we did do some training with them with their military before all this happened. A lot of our guys taught them how to use the armaments and stuff, but most of the guys, like I said, that went over there are independent or former military that have since not been in the military and are going over on their own free will.
Got it.
To do this.
Got you.
So, I mean,
Michael said he spits nothing but truth, nothing but facts. Exactly.
And regardless of the point still remains. I mean, we're sending them money after money after money. It's like, why are we sending them all this money? What are they doing with the money? Where's the money going?
I can definitely say some people in power are definitely getting richer and richer. Certainly. I don't think it's all weapon and stuff like that. How could you know for certain? We will find out, I'm sure, a couple of years from now. A lot of finances and stuff that were sent to Ukraine, is it being audited? Who is really keeping watch over how this money is being spent? Like, we have no idea. You know, so I heard that they're running out of soldiers. They're running out of men. They were actually drafting their women to join because they're also going in different places in Poland and they're pulling Ukrainian men who took refuge in these lands. They're pulling them and pack them in cars and send them to war against their will. So it's at a point where you also got to ask yourself a question, like, are we supporting a system? And I'm not for Russia here. This is no Russian propaganda. I could care less about Russia. I'm an American. But it seems like Ukraine is very corrupt to me. Like, there's some stuff obviously going on there that the West is covering up. Maybe Russia knew some stuff that we didn't know. Maybe they were right. There were Nazis there. There was a lot of crimes and violence happening to the citizens of the Ukrainian people that some of the Russians who reside in Ukraine, I should say. So there were a lot going on that you and I don't know. So when we're looking at news from the West, we hardly even hear anything about this. The West barely even speak about it. We talk about transgenderism all the time, but we don't get really any news about what's going on with the war. So it's kept out of sight. So we don't really know what's going on unless you go out and do some digging. You know, I have to go on Redacted and different places to find it. But obviously Ukraine is corrupt. There's a lot of stuff going on there that I wouldn't want to support it.
And we all know that the Biden's been in bed with Ukraine for decades. So, I mean,
I'm wondering, is that part of the deal, part of the reason why we're supporting this thing? Because there's been a relationship with Ukraine. Maybe Ukraine, they know, if you don't support us, I'm going to expose you.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell on you. You better give us some money.
It's like, who's really holding, Biden may be holding the purse strings, but who's really pulling the string?
Yeah. Angela said, yes, Ukraine is corrupt with the help of the Democrats. It's interesting. The Democrats, they themselves used to be anti-war, you know what I'm saying, anti-establishment and everything. But you notice how much they've switched to the point where they themselves pushing and sponsoring some of this stuff. Now,
actually, I don't think that's true.
You don't think they never were?
I don't think they ever were.
Maybe
Because
on the surface that's what it looked like.
yeah, I just think they've finally dropped the facade.
Yeah, okay. That could be it as well. Yeah. It seems like behind the scene they were always supporting a lot of stuff, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but on the surface when you hear the discussion it sounded like they were
Yeah, all like their talking
forward.
points and everything look sound all nice and flowery, but behind the scenes they're all like, yeah, let's do this type of thing. Whereas, all the Republicans, like your boy there, Byron, he's like, we ain't got time for this. We ain't got money for this. Why are we doing this? There's
Yeah.
no point in doing this.
Nope. We're not winning, and more lives are dying, and the Russians are getting stronger. Our economy is depleting, and we are $33 trillion in debt. So, what exactly are we fighting for? like,
Why are we fighting?
we're fighting
a proxy
NATO's
war?
NATO's war, and the nations of NATO are barely even doing anything. They started this. This had nothing to do with us in the first place, and it's just really crazy to me. So, okay, yeah, send me a link. Goes to Biden. Yeah, I got money from dozens of countries. Thank you. Send me a link. I'll take a look at that. All right, let's get back to my man.
Every time Zelensky white people were involved, you don't give a shit. Those are your words, not mine. I'm just wondering why. Why do we have endless money for them and none for Hawaii? Why is it every time Zelensky needs a loan from someone, we're the only ones that give it to him like we owe him something? We got issues of our own here at home that no one's discussing, and they keep growing cause no one in power is gonna do nothing. We're stuck. How the fuck we gonna help somebody else when we can't even reach inside our own pockets to help ourselves? We could allocate that money to our own people in different ways, to clothe and feed and bathe and let them know it'll be okay. We could definitely do that. Don't tell me it's not that simple. People overcomplicate this and make it some fucking riddle like, can't just feed everyone, are you insane? You know how much that costs? Way less than we've sent to Ukraine, I know that for sure. You don't have to be a mathematician or a foreign relations expert to figure out that division. You don't have to draw a graph to see it would cost a fraction to solve half of the problems we have and stop them from happening. I'm just saying, what kind of fucking world we living in? So many billions we've given them. When's Europe chipping in? When we gonna start splitting and stirring up the dividends and begin telling other nations it's your turn to lend a hand? Listen, I don't think Ukraine deserves any of this, but I also don't think Zelensky is as great as they said he is. I don't believe the media when they blurt shit on their shows. You'd have to be naive to think this dude's as pure as driven snow. No one is, especially when you run a nation, dog. Your morals are compromised the minute that you take the job. So I don't trust Zelensky, Putin, Biden, or anyone. I don't think any of them give a fuck about all us little ones. All the people of Russia, all the people of Ukraine, most of the people of the USA probably feel the same. We don't want this shit, it's only the elites that do. They line their pockets, they profit from this, but not from me and you. Quite the contrary, in fact, we pay for it with our lives and money. They take chunks of everything we make, and soldiers die for nothing, so they can gain some more power and keep their banks fat. And all we get is table scraps. Fuck yeah, it makes me mad. Fuck yeah, I get upset. We're constantly ignored. Why the fuck I gotta pay for this? I don't want this war. How the Pentagon have $6 billion unaccounted for, but when I...
All right, sorry, I just saw your message. Wow, he's frustrated. All right, let me.
Yeah, and rightly so. And I mean, this is what righteous indignation looks like.
Yeah,
like
I
for
agree.
real. And his whole line about Hawaii, like that whole debacle. I mean, that was a disaster.
Yeah,
that was just a huge disaster.
Yeah,
and everything that Biden did with it was, I mean, he ignored it for so long, and then when he was finally forced to go there, he talks about himself the whole time, and then says, "Oh yeah, we'll give you all $700 each."
And he talks about the fire that supposedly happened in his home, which was not even remotely close to what the people in Hawaii is going through.
Exactly.
I mean, he's completely berserk.
He's lost touch with reality.
Long time ago. Yeah.
You
I think that.
I mean, it just, the whole thing with Hawaii and everything is like, you're giving all these $1 million a day to Ukraine, but you can't part some of that to the people of your own country in Hawaii who actually need it to rebuild their lives.
No, that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
I mean,
And even the way this Hawaii thing happened, still, I have some questions about that. The whole fire and all the way it started, and no, the alarm didn't go off. They were blocking people from leaving the city. It was just a lot of things that I'm like, I don't know, man. This doesn't seem to make any sense.
no,
At least
doesn't.
not from the perspective of what they're telling us,
And like like he's getting into here is like, yeah, the 6 billion just up and disappeared. Where'd it go? But yet, we're off by $1 on our taxes, and all of a sudden we're going to jail. Like,
Makes no sense.
and what about our veterans? Why can't we take care of our veterans and stuff before we take care of Ukrainians? Why can't we take care of the homeless population and feed them and stuff?
Yeah.
And we got a lot of things we could fix here at home with all the money we're sending over there.
Yeah. Zachariah says using BlackRock and hedge funds on one that was trying to scavenge properties of people who lost their homes. It seems like that was the goal from the very beginning. I don't like to get into that, all the conspiracy theory stuff. And I know sometimes some of the conspiracy theory stuff is ridiculous, but there's some things to be said about that, though.
Well, Oprah bought up a lot of the property.
And she was trying to raise money with Wayne Johnson and everything, and that didn't go too well with some people. The people on TikTok went crazy. It was like, you're ridiculous. You got so much money that you can actually build a home for every single person in this place and still remain rich. Ridiculous. I come in asking poor people for money. I get it, though. We can do a lot, but I don't know if we want to trust Oprah with our money. At least not. She shouldn't be the face of that.
Not particularly.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, and that's the thing is, we got homeless veterans. We got veterans that are, deleting themselves daily. We could get them help with all the money we're sending over to Ukraine, but instead we're just letting this happen.
Yeah, they're not a priority.
Why not take care of the ones that fought and died and put themselves out there to defend what we believe and fought? And sorry, in case anybody who's new here doesn't know, I am a veteran, and I've served 3 tours in between Iraq and Afghanistan. So
it cuts close to home for you, man.
Yeah. So I mean, this is something that it's like, and I think really that's a major portion of the homeless population is where veterans.
Thank you, Darth Vader, said Christo.
You're welcome. They don't have anything else to go home to, or they come home and the banks repossess their home because reasons, they don't even get a reason for why their home's being foreclosed on, and it's just.
And not only that, their mental health is really, really bad. And oftentimes they end up losing their family, their wives. So they lose their sanity in the process. So they sacrifice their lives for our freedom. And when they come here, we say, we got to take care of the illegals. I just saw a video from Adopted where they're building cities for illegal immigrants in, let me show you. I don't want to run. I'm not a propaganda machine, so I don't like to just say things. I want to make sure I can prove it. The video, the mainstream media is trying to ignore this. They don't even want to talk about it. But I follow Redacted. Redacted doesn't hold anything back. So I'm going to show you. Yeah, you can keep talking, but here is, there it is. I found it. What you're about to see are just videos in Texas. Not only we have floods of illegals coming, in different parts of Europe?
It's just straight up invasion at this point.
Every day, 6,000 armed Russian soldiers not stopping this. Why are they just allowing this to happen? One has to wonder if this is not all part of a larger plan, of course, and we know that the answer, it's a rhetorical question because we already know that that answer is exactly part of a larger plan. So why would the United States allow 6,000? Think about this for a second. Here's a thought piece. Would the United States allow 6,000 armed Russian soldiers to invade our southern border every day? What do you guys think? Every day, 6,000 armed Russian soldiers pour across the border.
That's a good question. Now, let me show you the video. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. There it is. Let me mute myself.
Or homophobic or whatever. So there clearly is, I mean, this is like, so then you have no social cohesion, right? Like you can say you're all for immigration, which is great, when there are sort of steps in order to make sure that people can live together. This is like, we don't care. We literally don't care.
No, we don't. And as Michael Yon, I spoke to him, he just said like, look, Japan, get ready for Japan to have the same issue. You haven't really heard about it, but it's about to happen. Japan, of course, has a massive birth gap problem, massive declining population. And so this is all part of a coordinated plan. Inundate these particular countries, these Western countries that need manufacturing, that need slave labor, essentially, and totally flood them with migrants. Totally flood them with migrants from Africa and Asia and push them into these areas. Dissolve borders. That's exactly what the World Economic Forum wants. Dissolved borders, unipolar order. This is all part of the plan. And it's right in their documents, for crying out loud. It's right in their freaking documents. And just listen to Klaus Schwab publicly talk about it. You don't need to be conspiratorial about it. They said it and they published it. We first brought you the stories of the colonias in Texas a few months ago. Michael Yon actually covered that story for us and went up in a helicopter and showed us these colonias being built in Texas, how these massive neighborhoods are constructed using taxpayer dollars to house and feed illegal immigrants. We're giving them homes. And then we, of course, showed you the murder scene where cartels murdered someone in these.
The mainstream media doesn't tell you that one, did it? Nope. You guys ain't hearing nothing about that. You have to go to certain channels to get it. So I would say go over to Redacted, because Redacted gives you like a side of the news that the media will not tell you about.
And this is why alternative media has become so popular lately, is because you can't get the truth out of mainstream media.
Nope. Forget it. Yeah, so goes back to the point of what you were saying about the illegals being taken care of, the homeless are being overlooked, taxpayers are being neglected. Many other people in the cities are just complaining. Even people now, I have a video of a lady who totally went off. She's like, I'm done with these Democrats. She lost her mind. There she is right there.
Illegal, but only talk to black people about voting. And that's what you're doing up in here today, pandering for votes to all of these students up in here. You're sitting on your hands, literally, and then you're going to be disrespectful and walk off the stage. But you want our vote. Sir, we've been voting for 60 years, and we haven't gotten a damn thing from you, or Joe Biden, or Kamala Harris. We haven't gotten anything. Sir, what? No, because I'm mad as hell, sir. 16 years we've been voting. What have we gotten other than being at the bottom class? And this clown here gonna sit up here and give us this Baptist preacher antic show, and we buy and see. But I hope you're not buying into that bullshit. I really hope you're not buying into it, because that is disgusting and disrespectful. To come up here and charge you guys for coming in here to see this shit show, and then not only that, you guys being charged again off your tuition. Do you know that? I'm pretty sure you don't. So, with that being said, I seriously hope that you guys to the poll and vote for no more of these fuckers that sitting in office ain't doing a damn thing for us. But these legals getting $7,000 in DHS. Did you know that? They getting $7,000 a month. Food stamps, vouchers, e-bikes, scooters. They taking jobs away from us. Y'all sitting in here in Congress paying all this high-ass tuition and probably won't even be able to get a damn job when you graduate. Because guess what else? They haven't told y'all. The certification attached to your degrees, you're going to need certification to go with those degrees. And if you haven't checked into that before you started school, when you go for a job, they're going to tell you that shit when it's over. So now I said my piece. I came to state my point and state my piece, and I've done that. I've done that. No, please not you. Please not you.
Tell you what. She's got a point.
I mean, people are starting to wake up. That's all there is to it.
And I really hope they vote differently. It's one thing not to vote. I mean, not to vote is good. I think if, especially black women who voted largely Democrats, if black women will stop voting for the Dems, Republicans will win every single time, because it seems like black men are now stepping away. Okay, they're stepping away. It's like somewhere about 20% now. The polls have shown. But black women has been the number one support. If they lose black women support, it's over. Mm-hmm. And I really hope and pray it changes the political landscape in a positive way. But it's more than just talking. Like, they gotta vote differently. They gotta look at what their leaders are pushing, the values. When they're running, doing their campaigns, listen to what they're telling you. Like, like the guy in Chicago, Johnson, Brendan Johnson, he was saying, I'm for the illegals. He's saying, I want them to come to the United States. So none of this is happening like, oh my goodness, this came out of nowhere. No. They were saying this ahead of time.
Yeah, they've been saying it for decades.
And you guys voted him in office. And when he carries out the very things he's been telling you, now you're upset. This is why you need to do your homework and know who you're voting and what you're voting into political position, because he has an impact on your city and your money. It's not a joke.
It's like, you made your bed. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, let's go back to Samson, because we're not done yet. We just make a little detour.
Yeah. He still went off on a little bit of a tangent there.
Yeah, but Samson is still preaching, so let's get back.
I mean, the thing is, he brings up this kind of discussion, and that's the beauty of Samson is, he draws this out of people, and that's what makes him such a good rapper. And he makes people think about stuff like this.
Yeah, he's frustrated, boy. But he's speaking for the people, though. More changes will come from music like this than all the politicians' sweet talk altogether. Because I think this is what people will listen to and say, you know what, you're right. Because he's making sense. It's coming from the common people.
I mean, you got Samson, you got Tom McDonald, you got
Tyson James,
Oliver Anthony. These are the guys that are, going to be changing the landscape of the culture war.
That's right. The musicians. All right, let's take a listen. Let's finish him. Let me unmute.
Ignored. Why the fuck I gotta pay for this? I don't want this war. How the Pentagon have $6 billion unaccounted for, but when I do my taxes, I'm afraid to be $1 short. I'm afraid I'll go to jail. I'm afraid I'll do some time if I don't pay you back the money that you wasted. That was mine. I can't keep quiet anymore. It's impossible to shut up. I'm sick and tired of being responsible for all your fuck ups. But the question is, what we gonna do about it? There's never a plan of action. All we seem to do is shout it, and I'm guilty of it too. Always bitching and complaining, never walking, always talking, always lipping off and saying I'ma do shit, but I don't. And to be honest with you, that's the reason I don't make a lot of songs, and that's the truth. I'm sick of bumping my gums. I'm tired of flapping my jibs. Something needs to be done, and I don't know if rapping is it. We need a real solution, but we need to get together first, because unless we're all in this as a whole, it'll never work. However, what do I know? I'm just a moron with a pen, but there's power in numbers, and there's more of us than them.
The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on, continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all.
Yeah. There's a lot there's a lot to work with here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is just having these discussions and opening the dialogue to be able to have these discussions is what brings about the
Change.
idea of a solution and being able to make a solution and come up with a solution to be able to bring about the changes that we need to start and make our country better.
Gotcha.
You know, and I think that's something that he is trying to get at here.
Yeah. He is frustrated though. I get it though, because the frustration is kind of how I feel. I know. Once you understand the political landscape and what these guys are doing and how it impacts your entire livelihood, you feel very frustrated as well. You're like, yo, this is upsetting. Like, these people are ridiculous, you know? But,
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing is everything he said in that is 100% true. Like, nothing he said was a lie.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, people are starting to wake up to the hypocrisies and the doublespeak and everything. But this is going to be a slow burn. We're going to be suffering a lot.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
It's good.
So
it's a shame.